Happy anniversary, Liam.
Yeah.
22 years, my love.
I didn't slap my husband because I hated him. I slapped him because, in front of 83 people celebrating our 22nd wedding anniversary, he looked into my eyes, smiled, and accused me of stealing from him. He looked straight into my eyes. Tell everyone where the money went. I can't tell them something I didn't do. Really? He opened the envelope and scattered bank statements across our anniversary table. Pages fluttered through the evening air like white leaves. Several landed beside my dinner plate. Others drifted to the ground. Guests instinctively bent down to pick them up. Then I heard the whispers begin. Is that her signature? What happened? Did she really move all that money? I picked up one of the papers. My name was on it. My signature was on it. But I had never signed it. I looked back at Liam. Liam, this isn't real. His expression never changed. Then explain it. I can't explain something I've never seen. He let out a short laugh. Not an angry laugh. My hands were trembling. Liam, I have no idea what you're talking about. He picked up another document and held it high enough for everyone to see. You forged my signature. You emptied $2 million from our investment account. And you expected I'd never find out. Gasps rippled through the vineyard. Emma rushed toward us. Dad, stop. Noah stepped between us. There has to be some mistake. Liam never looked at them. He kept staring at me. Tell them the truth, Sandra. Something inside me snapped. 22 years of loving this man. 22 years of standing beside him. 22 years of believing he knew exactly who I was. And now he was destroying me in front of everyone we loved. Before I even realized what I was doing, my hand struck his face. The sound echoed across the vineyard. No one spoke. Even the musicians stopped playing. Liam slowly turned his head back toward me. He didn't look angry. He looked relieved, as though that slap had confirmed something he'd already decided. Without another word, he slipped off his wedding ring, placed it on the table, and looked around at every friend and family member who had come to celebrate us. I refused to spend another minute married to a woman I can't trust. He turned, walked through the vineyard, climbed into his SUV, and drove away. No one tried to stop him. No one even knew what to say. I stood there surrounded by people who had loved us for decades, holding papers that claimed I had stolen nearly $2 million from my own husband. I kept asking myself one question. If those documents were fake, who created them? I wouldn't learn the answer until 3 days later. And by then, someone else would already be dead. Before we dive deeper, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of our upcoming videos. Every head turned toward me. No one left. They stared. I took a slow breath. If Liam believes I stole from him, then I deserve the chance to prove I didn't. I have nothing to hide. I picked up the thick envelope Liam had thrown onto the table. Inside were more papers. Bank transfers. Investment summaries. Withdrawal requests. Every page carried my printed name. Every signature resembled mine so closely that even I struggled to tell the difference. Except one detail. Very small. Almost invisible. My middle initial. Every legal document I had signed since marrying Liam included my middle initial. Every single one. These didn't. My heart skipped. I flipped through another page. Then another. The same thing. No middle initial. I looked at Emma. Do you remember helping me sign the paperwork when we refinanced the lake house? She nodded immediately. You always use your middle initial. So why isn't it here? Emma stared at the pages. You're right. She grabbed another document. And another. Every signature was missing it. Noah suddenly returned, breathing heavily. He's gone. His face was red with anger. I couldn't catch him. His phone's off. He saw the documents spread across the table. His expression hardened. I don't believe these. Neither did I. Not anymore. but someone had gone through extraordinary effort to make them believable. Mabel gently touched my shoulder. We're going to figure this out. Before I could answer, one of the catering staff approached nervously. Mrs. Sandra, a gentleman asked me to give you this if your husband left before dessert. He handed me a small cream-colored envelope. My name was written across the front in Liam's handwriting. When did he give this to you? This afternoon. The waiter shifted uncomfortably. He said it was important. The world seemed to stop spinning. He planned this. With trembling hands, I broke the seal. Inside was only one folded sheet of paper. The handwriting was unmistakably Liam's. Sandra, if you're reading this, it means everything happened exactly the way it had to. By now, everyone believes I walked away from you because of the money. Please don't try to find me. The truth is much more dangerous than you can imagine. Someone at our anniversary party has been lying to both of us for months. Trust no one until you know the whole truth. There was no signature, no explanation, nothing else. Just those 9 words. Emma took the letter from my trembling hands. This doesn't sound like Dad. No, Noah said. It sounds like someone forced him to write it. Frederick shook his head. Your father wasn't a man who could be forced into anything. His words hung in the air. He was right. Liam had spent 3 decades building one of California's most respected financial firms because he never let anyone control him. So why had he looked defeated? The image of his face before he walked away replayed in my mind. I had been too angry to notice it then. Now I couldn't ignore it. He hadn't looked furious. He had looked heartbroken, as if leaving me had hurt him just as much as it hurt me. If he believed I'd stolen from him, why leave me a letter telling me to trust no one? Mabel gently touched my arm. Sandra, let's get you somewhere quiet. I nodded. The cheerful sounds of the party had disappeared. Guests were quietly gathering their coats, speaking in hushed voices as they slipped away from the vineyard. Some offered awkward hugs. Others simply lowered their eyes and left without saying a word. Within half an hour, the beautiful anniversary celebration had become a memory none of us wanted. The catering staff silently cleared untouched desserts from the tables. Candles continued flickering beneath the oak trees as though nothing had happened. Emma sat beside me. Mom, do you think someone set you up? I don't know. But those signatures, they aren't mine. I know. She looked at me with complete certainty. I don't care what those papers say. A few yards away, Noah was speaking quietly with Stephen, glancing toward me every few seconds. Finally, he walked over. I'm going to Dad's office. Tonight. If someone forged those documents, there might be something there. I'll come with you. No. You've been through enough tonight. Before I could argue, Frederick stepped forward. I'll go with him. If my brother is in trouble, I need to know why. The two of them left together. For the first time that evening, I noticed Sophia Reynolds standing alone near the edge of the garden, staring toward the vineyards. Almost waiting. When she noticed me looking, she walked over. I'm so sorry. I've worked with Liam for years. I've never seen him lose his temper. She lowered her voice. Can I ask you something? Did Liam ever mention feeling pressured lately? At work. He said business was good. She looked away for a second. That's what I thought. Then, hesitating, for the last few months, Liam started locking his office door. He never used to. He also stopped letting anyone access certain client files. He just said he was handling a sensitive situation. When did this start? About 4 months ago. For months. Almost exactly when Liam had begun traveling more often for business meetings. Meetings I'd never questioned. Because I trusted him completely. Sophia reached into her handbag. There's something else. She handed me a small business card. On the back, someone had written an address. What is this? Liam asked me to give it to you. 3 weeks ago. He told me, if anything ever happens between Sandra and me, make sure she gets this. I looked at the address. It wasn't his office. It wasn't our home. It wasn't any place I recognized. Why didn't you tell me before? Because he made me promise. Her answer sounded sincere. But after everything that had happened, I wasn't sure who I could believe anymore. My phone buzzed. It was Noah, his voice tense. Mom, I'm at Dad's office. The alarm wasn't set. The place has been searched. Drawers are open. Cabinets emptied. Papers everywhere. Was Dad there? No. He took a slow breath. But whoever was here was looking for something. And I think they found it. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. What did they find? I don't know. But whatever Dad was hiding, it's gone. Emma's face had turned ghostly pale. We're coming. No, Noah replied immediately. I don't think you should. I'm already on my way. The 30-minute drive to Liam's office felt endless. No one spoke much. Emma sat beside me, staring out the passenger window. Mabel quietly held my hand from the back seat. When we pulled into the parking garage, 2 police cruisers were parked outside the building. Yellow caution tape stretched across the lobby entrance. My heart sank. A security officer recognized me immediately. Mrs. Sandra? I'm sorry. Your son is upstairs. Emma and I hurried toward the elevator. When the doors opened onto Liam's floor, the scene looked nothing like the office I'd visited countless times. Desk drawers were hanging open. File folders covered the carpet. Several computer monitors had been knocked onto the floor. Someone hadn't searched carefully. They had searched desperately. Noah was standing beside Frederick near Liam's office. The moment he saw me, he wrapped his arms around me. I should have gotten here sooner. This isn't your fault. A detective approached us. Mrs. Sandra? I'm Detective Harris. We'll need to ask you a few questions. What happened here? We're still trying to determine that. He glanced toward Liam's office. Our preliminary assessment is that someone entered after business hours. Was anything stolen? We don't know yet. My eyes drifted toward Liam's office door, standing wide open. I'd never seen it open after hours. May I? The detective hesitated. Briefly. I stepped inside. Everything was upside down. Books lay scattered across the floor. Family photographs had been knocked off the shelves. The framed picture from our 20th anniversary had shattered against the wall. I picked it up. The glass had cracked directly between Liam's face and mine. An unsettling chill crept over me. Someone hadn't just searched this office. Someone had been furious. Emma noticed something near Liam's desk. Mom. She pointed toward the floor. One drawer had been pulled completely out of the desk. Behind it, hidden inside the cabinet, was a small electronic safe. Its door hung open. Empty. Frederick slowly walked over. I didn't even know this was here. The detective examined it with his flashlight. Looks like whoever broke in knew exactly where to look. So this wasn't random, Noah said. I doubt it, the detective replied. They came for this safe. But what was inside? No one answered. Because none of us knew. As I looked around Liam's office, my eyes landed on something almost everyone else had missed. A chessboard, sitting untouched on a small coffee table near the window. Every piece remained perfectly arranged. Except one. The white king. It had been knocked onto its side. Liam loved chess. He never left a game unfinished. Never. I walked over and gently lifted the king. Something white was tucked beneath it. A folded piece of paper. I unfolded it carefully. Only 6 words were written across the page. Trust Frederick. Tell no one else. I stared at the message, then looked at Frederick. He looked just as confused as I felt. I didn't write that. I know. The detective stepped closer. What's that? Without thinking, I folded the note and slipped it into my purse. Nothing important. The lie surprised even me. 5 hours earlier, I would have handed it over without hesitation. Now Liam's warning echoed inside my head. Trust no one until you know the whole truth. If he had hidden this message, there had to be a reason. Frederick quietly walked beside me. Sandra. I think my brother believed he was running out of time. Running out of time for what? I don't know. He sighed heavily. But Liam called me 3 nights ago. After midnight. He asked if I'd still look after you if he couldn't. The hallway seemed to spin around me. I grabbed the edge of a desk to steady myself. Why didn't you tell me? Because I thought he was exhausted. I never imagined. He couldn't finish the sentence. Just then, Noah called from Liam's computer. Mom, the hard drive's been wiped. Everything. Client files. Emails. Financial records. Even the backups. Emma stared at the blank monitor. Someone erased his entire business. The detective's expression darkened. That's professional. He turned toward another officer. I want the building's security footage immediately. The officer returned a few minutes later. Sir, the cameras were disabled. When? About 20 minutes before the break-in. The detective slowly removed his glasses. This wasn't an ordinary burglary. Before anyone could respond, my phone vibrated. An unknown number. Normally, I would have ignored it. Something told me not to. This is Sandra. For several seconds, there was only silence. Then I heard Liam's voice. Soft. Tired. Barely audible. If you're hearing this, it means I'm already too far away to explain everything in person. I never stopped loving you. But if you want the truth, go to the lake house. The message ended. No goodbye. No explanation. Only 3 words that changed everything. Every person in the room was staring at me. Because they had all heard the recording. And somehow, whoever had just sent it knew exactly where I was. The drive to the lake house felt longer than it ever had before. The sun had disappeared beneath the hills, leaving the winding road wrapped in darkness. No one in the car spoke. Emma kept replaying Liam's recording. Noah stared out the window, his jaw clenched. Frederick drove with both hands gripping the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles had turned white. As for me, I couldn't stop asking myself one question. If Liam loved me, why had he humiliated me in front of everyone? Nothing about the night made sense. The familiar stone entrance to our lake house finally appeared. It was the place where we celebrated birthdays, Thanksgiving dinners, and quiet weekends away from the city. Liam used to call it our safe place. Tonight it felt anything but safe. Frederick stopped the SUV. Every light inside the house was off. Noah frowned. Dad always leaves the porch light on. He does, I whispered. Emma reached for my hand. You don't have to go in first. I do. I climbed out. The cool night air carried the scent of pine and the gentle sound of waves brushing against the dock. Everything looked normal. Too normal. The front door wasn't locked. I pushed it open slowly. Liam? Only silence answered. The house was exactly as we'd left it 2 weeks earlier. Nothing appeared disturbed. Then I noticed something. A single lamp was glowing inside Liam's study. I thought you said all the lights were off, Noah whispered. They were. We cautiously stepped inside. The study door stood half open. I pushed it wider. My heart nearly stopped. Liam was sitting behind his desk. Alive. He slowly looked up. His eyes were red, his face exhausted, and his beard, usually neatly trimmed, had begun to grow in. For several seconds, none of us moved. Then Emma burst into tears. Dad. She ran across the room and wrapped her arms around him. He held her tightly. I'm so sorry. Noah followed, his anger melting into relief. You scared us to death. I remained standing near the doorway, unable to move, unable to forgive, unable to understand. He looked at me. I know. His voice was barely above a whisper. You have every reason to hate me. I folded my arms. I don't hate you. I just don't know who you are anymore. Those words hurt him. I could see it. He slowly stood. I'm going to tell you everything. Frederick quietly closed the study door. Liam took a deep breath. 6 months ago, our firm discovered someone had been stealing from several elderly clients. It wasn't one person. It was an organized scheme. They created fake investment accounts, forged withdrawal requests, moved millions of dollars before anyone noticed. My heart pounded. The signatures, they forged yours? He nodded. They forged dozens. Emma frowned. Then why accuse Mom? Because they told me if I didn't, his voice broke, they would kill her. The room froze. Liam slowly opened a drawer and removed a folder. Photographs slid onto the desk. Pictures of me, leaving the grocery store, walking our dog, meeting friends for lunch, standing outside my church. Every photograph had been taken without my knowledge. Emma covered her mouth. Oh my God. They sent these to me one by one, Liam said. Every time I refused to cooperate, another photograph arrived. My knees weakened. They knew everywhere I went. He nodded. Then they told me to publicly accuse you. They said once everyone believed you were responsible, they would disappear. You believed them? Tears filled his eyes. No. I believed they were capable of killing you. I thought if I made everyone believe we'd become enemies, they'd stop watching you. I felt anger, relief, and heartbreak all at once. You should have trusted me. We could have faced it together. I know. Instead of answering, I walked toward him. For a second, I thought I might embrace him. Instead, I placed my wedding ring beside his. You protected my life, but you destroyed my trust. He closed his eyes. I deserve that. No, you deserve the truth. I looked around the room. The person behind this is someone we know. I picked up one of the forged bank statements. I noticed something tonight. The signatures all missed my middle initial. Liam nodded. I noticed that too, but only after it was too late. I turned toward the doorway. There was only one person outside our family who regularly prepared legal documents requiring my signature. The room became perfectly still. Sophia Reynolds. At that exact moment, a slow clap echoed from behind us. Every head turned. Sophia Reynolds stepped into the doorway. She wasn't alone. Two men stood behind her. One of them held a handgun. The smile on her face bore no resemblance to the kind, professional woman we'd known for 7 years. I wondered how long it would take. She laughed softly. It was never personal. It was business. She looked directly at Liam. You should have signed everything when I asked. Liam stepped in front of me. It's over. No. She smiled. It almost was. She raised the gun. Before anyone could react, Frederick grabbed the heavy bronze fireplace poker leaning beside the hearth and swung it into the arm of the man holding the weapon. The gun clattered across the wooden floor. Noah lunged forward. The second man lost his balance as Emma shoved a chair into his legs. Within seconds, the room erupted into chaos. Sophia tried to run. I caught her by the sleeve. She spun around. For a brief moment, our eyes met. You destroyed my family. Her smile disappeared. No, she answered quietly. Greed did. Police sirens suddenly echoed across the lake. Red and blue lights flashed through the windows. Detective Harris rushed inside with officers behind him. Nobody moved. Within moments, Sophia and the two men were handcuffed. As officers escorted her past me, she stopped. You know what your problem is, Sandra? You always believed everyone deserved another chance. She smiled sadly. That's why people like me succeed. She disappeared into the night. Weeks later, investigators uncovered the entire fraud operation. Millions of dollars belonging to retired families were recovered. Dozens of victims finally received justice. Liam was completely cleared. So was I. Many people expected everything to return to normal. It didn't. Trust isn't rebuilt by proving someone innocent. It's rebuilt one honest conversation at a time. Liam moved into the guest house beside the lake while we attended counseling together. There were difficult days. Awkward silences. Honest tears. For the first time in years, we stopped pretending to have the perfect marriage. We started building a real one. Exactly 1 year later, our family gathered again beneath those same oak trees overlooking the Napa vineyards. This time there were no speeches about perfection. No promises that life would always be easy. Liam stood, looked at every person around the table, then turned to me. A year ago, I walked away because I believed fear could protect the people I loved. He reached for my hand. I've learned that love built on secrets always collapses. His voice trembled. Thank you for giving me the chance to earn your trust instead of expecting it. I smiled through tears. Not because the pain had disappeared, but because healing had finally begun. As the sun settled behind the vineyards and our grandchildren laughed nearby, I realized something I wish I'd understood years earlier. The strongest marriages aren't the ones that never face storms. They're the ones where, after the storm has passed, both people choose to come home. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments what you would have done if you were in Sophia's shoes. Would you have given Liam a second chance, or would you have walked away forever? We'd love to read your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next unforgettable story. Thank you for watching.